welcome everybody. For anyone who is new here, my name is Vanessa. I also go by Read with Dr.B. And I am joined on screen by my friend Laura from the Book Hermit, and then obviously our special guest, Sabrina Cross, who, in her own words, writes delightfully chaotic romance. So, for the people who don't know who you are or might be like newer to your work, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Sabrina?
Hi, I'm Sabrina. And like she said, I write chaotic romances. So far, they have all been sentient romances. If you are new to sentient object romance, welcome. I'm sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Not sorry. Welcome to the insanity. It kind of got started with a tweet. Somebody made a joke about a stuffed cotton crochet candy corn, because the candy corn does exist. I did not make up the candy corn. The caked out candy corn is a real thing. You can buy it on Etsy. Somebody made a joke about it and said, "Who's going to write this romance?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to."
Yeah, so I'm like looking on Etsy right now for this caked up candy corn. I know that you have a Etsy shop. Is it on your Etsy shop?
No, I cannot crochet. Yes, the irony. I cannot crochet. I cannot remember the name of the shop. It has wandering in it, but if you look for Big Booty Candy Corn, it comes up.
Okay, I'm going to look up Big Booty Candy Corn and let the people decide if they would like to have this in their lives. I see a couple of, actually, I see a couple from Raina Crochets. I don't know if that's the original person, but it's got like a candy corn with a butt.
Mm. Yeah, I think the original one that I found was from Wandering Something. That's the original one that had the video or the image that launched my entire writing career.
That is very interesting. And so I think Laura actually had the pleasure of reading Corny, because we did like a little taste test of your books, and Laura read Corny, I read Snuggle. I almost said Smutted, and I was like, that is not right. Snuggle.
Not inaccurate.
Tangled. And then Laura read Knotted, which for the people who do not know, it's like a series of a bunch, I would say, of standalone books. And I guess each book follows a different friend.
Mm-hmm.
And these friends are, I think they're all single at the beginning of their books. Okay. Some of them may be virgins. Some of them are, I think in Corny, if I recall, Laura, you mentioned it's a female one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, each one kind of finds their own love story with these crochet demons.
Yep.
And they take kind of the shape of different crochet objects. So we can imagine our Big Booty Candy Corn as one of them. And then I think, let's see, the second one is a teddy bear. The third one is an octopus. And then the fourth one is a werewolf. Is that right?
Kind of.
Okay.
I kind of went off script with the fourth one.
Okay.
There was a stuffed werewolf in it. We'll just leave it at that because spoilers.
Yes. Laura, you did a great job with your non-spoiler stuff this round.
Because I've tried really hard not to spoil anything, because the last time I did one of these vlogs, I did not do well at that. So I had to improve.
That's okay. So, like, I guess we know where the inspiration for Corny comes from. What about the other ones?
Okay. I didn't actually plan on a series when I wrote Corny. Like, I just wrote the most nonsensical thing I could think of and published it and sent it to the friend who was like, who's writing this romance? And That's where I thought it was going to die, because I figured it'd die in, the Amazon underground, because I wasn't promoting it. I wasn't doing anything, but somebody happened to be looking for it.
Yeah, I think actually a lot of my reader friends have come across like monster smut, sentient object romance, and are finding that yes, it may be a little weird at times, and some can be a little gross, but I think some of us are finding that there is a huge like desire for this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it
So anyway, I posted it on Twitter as a here you go. And I was a reviewer before I was a writer. So I knew other reviewers, I knew other authors, and they're like, okay, well, where's the rest? So it was just kind of chaos.
Mhm.
The end of last year was chaos, trying to outline the rest of the series when I didn't know that anybody would actually read the first one.
And now you've got lots of people reading,
Yes.
especially now there's even a whole like convention that is
Yes.
highlighting authors that write stuff like you write.
There are 2 of them now, actually. There is Monsterotica, which is the first one, the one out in Baltimore next May. And there is a smaller one who is featuring a lot of us weirdo authors in Indianapolis called Strangelove. And that one's going to be next March, and I will be at both.
Ooh. Very fun. I will only be at one of them. So I will see you at Monster Erotica Con.
Awesome.
And I was gonna say I wish Laura could join because I think Laura would love to come.
Isn't there one out in your direction? I think there's one across the pond.
I am going to look it up because I would have so much fun going to one of these.
I think there's one that's coming across the pond. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it because I have no hope of, international travel at the moment. But I definitely remember talks about one.
And Laura, if you do find out about what it is, you better dress up. Like you got to go all out.
So, okay, sorry, no. Moment.
So Sabrina, is writing like your main job?
It is not. It is a hobby. It's I kind of fell out of it for a while. Like I said, I started reviewing books because I just didn't ever find the time to write. And I wrote corny and I'm like, wait, I can do this. I have time. I'm still capable of it, and just kind of ran with it.
Hold on. This is a very random side note. I just noticed your shirt.
Yes.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, what's on her shirt?
It is a dress. It has pockets. It is amazing.
I might have to get this.
It's brilliant.
It is amazing. So I guess I had a follow-up question with your writing, and I guess it could still be a question even if writing is kind of like a hobby for you. But do you only write sentient object romance, or do you also write outside of the genre or other topics? I guess.
I have 2 coming out next year that are more general monsters. They're one is a forest god and one is like a yeti, I guess, sort of. Those will be coming out in a couple anthologies in February. And I have a whole series I'm hoping to be able to get to next year that is all different kinds of monsters. But I'm also still very much have a forever long list of sentient objects to defile.
Do you get people just randomly messaging you and saying, "Can you write a book about?" And just giving you like a random thing.
Oh yes, anytime any random object is even slightly sexualized, I get so many tags. I get sent. My friend Nicole Parker and I are basically in competition who can write it faster.
Oh my goodness. I mean, speaking of that, so like I read Light Me Up, which for those of you who don't know, it's a male lamp romance. And going into it, I was like, how is this going to turn sexual? Not even thinking about the cord. Hello.
Sorry, my son's saying hello.
But not even thinking about the cord, and just kind of like, I feel like a light bulb would be really hot. How does this work? And so I'm just kind of like, how? Wow. And kind of on that topic of Light Me Up, I had read your, I don't know what it's called, disclaimer at the beginning that says, like, this is not a how-to manual, people. So have some common sense. I love that. But have you experienced anybody like blaming you for trying the things out in your book?
No. Vera Valentine, who wrote Unhinged, the Door book.
Mm-hmm. We're familiar.
To make a disclaimer. And
Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Can you go? Thank you. Childcare problems. Anyway, Vera had to put out a disclaimer, and I learned from Vera. I just put it out there early.
Yes, because I could see that there are some people who do lack common sense or may not get that it's supposed to be kind of humorous and funny, and may take it a little too seriously because they're curious, which is fine. You do you. I'm not going to yuck your yum.
They can do them, but they can't blame me for giving them the idea.
Right. I had another kind of question that was related to this. So I guess when it comes to these books that you're writing, do you have like a takeaway that you like? Do you have a hope for readers to take away something or to feel a certain way when you're writing these books?
I just kind of want them to have enjoyed themselves, enjoy some fluff, some unserious. The world kind of is on fire right now, and I just want to give some people some levity. Like, I write fluffier stuff. It's funny, it's goofy. I kind of lean into it. Mm-hmm. Light Me Up is like the most serious thing I've written, and probably
really?
Yeah. That is the most serious thing I've written.
Wow. I read that yesterday, and it was perfect for me because I actually was having a really bad day yesterday. And that book was probably my favorite out of the ones I read because I was laughing so much and I had such a good time, and there were so many like fun punny kinds of things going. I don't know if they're not necessarily puns, but yeah, definitely like play on things, and just like the WTF factor of like, oh, you know, I'm just going to give the people a non-spoiler, but like the beginning, it talks about how the lamp named Lux is, I won't say how they come into their sentience, but they come into it. And then the next chapter is Jake, who is the human in the story. And he, I guess, is in like college, kind of at like a frat party of some sort of party. And he is kind of playing beer pong, but with pills. And some of the pills happen to be Viagra.
Again, do not do this.
Yes, please. No.
Please. I may have invented a new game I do not want anybody to ever play.
This actually reminds me of something on your Instagram that is how you explain your books badly. I'm going to pull this up real quick. But it says, excuse my French for anybody listening, but it says, for light me up, do drugs, fuck a lamp, fall in love, and then you have a disclaimer: please do not do drugs or fuck a lamp. And I laughed so hard at that because I was like, yep, that's how you hook the people.
Yeah.
That is actually my new business card.
I love it.
That's brilliant. I know with when I was doing my vlog, I regretted not having the camera on me while I was reading, because and you can tell by my comments as well all the way through, like I was in a very serious mood when I started, and I was not when I finished.
That is exactly what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, so your books, I think, definitely have like the right amount of like getting us out of that serious space sometimes, even if you meant it to be really serious.
I mean nothing to be serious. I am the least serious person. If anything is serious, it's on accident.
I think I'm gonna have to put some of your books in like my therapy toolbox kind of thing for days that I just need.
That's a great idea, Laura.
To chill me out.
Yes. I never thought to do that, but I think I was on somebody's sprints earlier today, and I was just talking about how I was like preparing for this interview tonight, and I was kind of like wrapping up my vlog and stuff that went out today. And I think some of the people in the chat had like never heard, and it was an author, it's part of the author tube side. So I was like on an author's writing sprints, and I joined theirs just because I like they keep me productive.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of other authors who will join in, and they'll do their own writing and stuff, and they'll just kind of update throughout how they're doing. And I had mentioned that I was reading some of your books, and I think some of the people had like never heard of like candy corn smut or lamp smut, and so I like opened their eyes up to this. And actually, I don't know if you knew this, but do you know the author Chuck Tingle?
Yes.
Okay. So today I learned that Chuck Tingle, who is the author of Camp Damascus and more recently Bury Your Gaze, has written smut.
Yes.
In the past. And
a lot of ridiculous smut.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Dinosaur smut, I believe, Laura, yes. If this interests you. Yes, you'll have to Google it. But I mean, I think the more you know. And we had this whole conversation today about how this like sentient object romances are becoming more popular. So we have a game later that we're going to play, which, so if you want to join in, audience, you have to stay around for it.
Please go back to your room. No faces.
Brief intermission for children.
Sorry.
It's all good. Laura, I know you read Pounded by the Pommel Horse.
I did. I requested that one.
Yes, you did. I was like, Laura, which ones do you want to read? And Laura was like, I want to read Pounded by the Pommel Horse.
Where the smut is the plot.
Yeah, I was so intrigued. Like, just by the title alone, I was just like, right, okay. How? And then I read the synopsis and I was like, but Pommel Horse is a male thing. So then I just had to know. I'm not gonna spoil it. You just need to read it.
I will have to read it, but I'm kind of sad that I didn't read it while the Olympics was going on, because that would have been like the perfect time.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I published it the first day of the Olympics and got so lucky that the pommel horse popped off.
With that one guy, right?
Yes.
I don't know his name, but I kept hearing about him, and I was like, oh boy.
Yep, it made marketing really easy.
So I obviously have not read it, but Laura might be able to speak to this a little bit better.
Mhm.
I'm curious why, since this is all what I'm gathering from Laura's vlog, but Laura had mentioned that the pommel horse is typically a male sport in the gymnastics. And so how come it was a male-female romance versus like a male-male? And I don't know if this has to do with like what they get down to, or I don't know.
I also wondered, like, I get like why it, because of how
Right.
the beginning bit goes. But I did wonder why you chose a male-female pairing in that one.
It was actually a petty
it
reason.
might have been easier.
It was super petty because there was conversation going on about not being bisexual in a male-female relationship.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I'm writing a bisexual character in a male-female relationship for my next book. And then my friend texted me, you have to do something for the Olympics. And I'm like, okay, well, let's figure out how to work that in there.
I see where the inspiration kind of like, what's the word? Like snowballs.
Yes. So I knew going in that it was something from the Olympics, and we were just kind of tossing back and forth different items, and javelin came out at one point in time, and you just kind of landed on the pommel horse. But
the javelin kind of would make me think about I think Cassie and was it Vera who just came out with the hockey stick romance?
It was just Cassie. That one's just Cassie.
Oh, just Cassie. Okay.
Oh, this is Superman talking.
So yeah, I can imagine some interesting things happening there.
Yep. Yeah. We decided it was too pointy and then moved on.
Yeah. I was going to say it scares me.
We probably went back and forth texting for a solid half hour before we landed on pommel horse, and I'm like, I give up. We're doing a pommel horse. And then I had to figure out how to make it work.
Well, now I'm very intrigued.
You made it work.
Thank you.
So what's been like your favorite book to write?
They kind of vary. Light Me Up was a blast. Cassie is the cause of Light Me Up.
I think I saw the dedication. Yep.
She couldn't find lamp smut. It didn't exist. So I'm like, okay, bet. Hold my beer. Let's go. So I had a lot of fun trying to figure out the mechanics of how to make that work, because we could only go so far, because like you mentioned the light bulb, like we're like, we do not want to go there because somebody will do it. And I do not want to get sued because somebody decided to use a light bulb inappropriately.
Hence why you need these disclaimers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I had a lot of fun like figuring out the mechanics of that one. And it was supposed to be more like Pounded by the Pommel Horse, where it was just like Sput is the plot, lighthearted. And Lux comes out of the gate, nope, I'm going to have unrequited love. Mm-hmm. Make it work.
Yes. And I always think it's so interesting because was it earlier this? It was this month. Sylvia's here. Hello, mm-hmm. Sylvia. But Sylvia had talked about like in her books about like some of the anatomical ways that the characters in her books would do it. Mm-hmm. And so it's very interesting to see how you wrote about your characters like doing certain things, or like even questions I didn't have, you kind of like answered. And actually some of the book, actually Snuggle, I think I had to go back and reread. I was like, did I hear that? Did I read that right? It said he had two.
He has magic.
And he has magic. I talked about that too in my
Snuggle
blog.
has demon magic.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to touch you to get you off.
No.
So I was like, can you technically like consent if they never touch you?
She did discuss it with him.
Yeah.
To be fair, it was a bet. There was discussion. He just didn't say how it was going to happen.
Would have been great in COVID.
Yes.
Here's a great question. If you could actually be mated with one of your characters, which would it be?
Finn.
Finn. Finnerax, right? Finn is the teddy bear. Which I have a cute little sticker that you sent me. This is Finnerax in his teddy bear form.
Yep.
I love him. He just looks like a little dominatrix teddy bear.
The look I got from the artist, like, it was just long, silent pause. And then, are you sure?
See, this is a sticker I would love to put, like, I have a water bottle that I put a lot of stickers on. I would love to put this on my water bottle, but I'm afraid of what people might think.
Fair.
Especially because I do work with people in the mental health field, and they'd be like, oh boy, what is going on there?
Yeah, no, Snuggle was all wish fulfillment for me. I just want somebody to come in and take over my household and
just
do everything.
I forgot to even mention that Finn was like ultimate book bear friend. I don't even demon friend, because he was so like, I want to take care of you, like let me help. And I was like, yes, I love this. Like, you just want to snuggle up to him.
Yes. Yep.
I think I need to read Snuggle next time.
I think so too, Laura. It was so cute. I loved it. Let's see. Squishy has a question. Do you make detailed outlines, or do you just make outlines of key story points?
Oh, I don't outline anything. Actually, more accurately, I do about 20 outlines. And it's all me verbally spewing at my editor. What if I did this? I don't outline. It's like key points, and then those key points change constantly. And whatever I come up with at the beginning is nothing like what the book looks like at the end. My poor editor.
I feel like it would be very fun to be an editor who, well, I don't know if editors just read a certain genre or if they read kind of across different genres, but it would be very interesting to read like a bunch of like monster smut, sentient object smut. Like, I think I would be very happy in my job.
I enjoy writing it. One day I hope to do it full time.
Yeah, I think it'd be so fun.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, you know, like with some of the conventions coming up, with just like people spreading like by word of mouth about your books, you know, you get that kind of publicity, right? And can get to that point of writing more full time. Bree has a question too. So if you could go back in time and be the author of any book that's not yours, which book would it be?
Oh,
that's a good question.
That's a really good question.
I'd be Kit Roca.
Who's this?
They do not write monsters. They write dystopian orgies.
Oh. I love it.
They write a lot more than that, but they're like the most hopeful books ever. And since we live in like this current hellscape, they fill me with such a joy, and I just want to be able to bring that emotion to people and bring people the amount of joy that those books bring.
How do you spell that?
Kit, and then it's Rocha. The first one is shame. Beyond Shame.
Ooh, okay. I see. Science fiction, fantasy, paranormal romance.
Mm-hmm. They are fantastic. Yes, they are. The Beyond series is very filthy. It is like any kink you can come up with, it's there. But like the overall hope of the series, just every time I am in a slump or I'm feeling crappy, I go back to this series, and I hope one day that I can be that for somebody.
Oh, I love that.
I think you are that for me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Laura said, these books are great. Like, they're not big ass 500-page romance books that are gonna make me feel sappy and cry. Like, I don't care about that all the time.
I call them cotton candy.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you just need some cotton candy, you know? Just like a night to get over your woes and just laugh and giggle and kick your feet and all that fun stuff, right? And it's just like, why not put these little, like, I guess novellas, books, whatever you want to call them, in like a little kind of a coping kit, right? Just like when you're having a bad day, pull out a book by Sabrina Cross and just like read it.
Yeah.
You know?
It'll work.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a tougher question than that last one. I think it's tough.
Okay.
And I hope that nobody from Monster Erotica will get upset. Okay. So if you could only take 3 authors who are going to Monster Erotica BookCon with you to like a weekend retreat, who are you taking and why?
Oh my god. I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm not including Cassie, but Cassie would have to be there. She is the coordinator, so she doesn't count as an author.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Playing on that. I'm gonna say Latrexa Nova, Vera Valentine, and Sylvia Morrow.
Oh, I love it.
And the why is because we all write the same weird stuff. So bouncing ideas off each other is going to be very easy. But also, when I got started last year, I kind of, like I said, fell into this and had, like, I have an understanding of the business, but I didn't have any connections in the monster romance community at all. All of mine are contemporary romance. And so I fell into this, and Cassie's like, let me introduce you to these people. And they have been the most informative, supportive group of people I've ever encountered. If I have a question, if I have a problem, if I'm just having a bad day, they are there. And I feel like hanging out with them would just be amazing.
And I notice, and like, because I read the acknowledgments and stuff at the end, some of you guys will put like each other's names in your books or like the acronyms for people, and I'm like, oh, that's probably, you know, that person. I can't tell for sure if L is Latrexa, but you know, maybe.
Ellie is not Latrexa.
Okay.
That is my best friend from high school who has to listen to me spew nonsense all day, every day.
Okay. But for the people who don't know who Cassie is also known as Unfortunate Reads on Instagram, and she's also like the putter honor of Monster Erotica.
Yes, it is her baby. It is her dream.
Called it. She's like the
coordinator.
Coordinator, yeah. She's put the whole thing on, and she's doing a great job.
Yes.
And Mia wants to crash the sleepover. I actually was talking with Latrexa earlier today because she might have been the first person I reached out to when I was like trying to coordinate some of these author interviews and just like getting to know some of you guys. And totally, my bad, I ghosted her for a while because I guess I reached out back in May and I looked back through our Discord messages and I said, I am so sorry I never responded to you when I was like supposed to set up something for the summer. And she goes, it's okay. I like forgot. It feels like you just asked me yesterday as well. So we're actually getting something set up for next month because I noticed that Latrexa is like more like Halloween-y kinds of books.
She is the Halloween queen.
So I was like, ooh, this is fun. I'm very excited. This will be like a good opportunity to sample some of her works. And she sent me, Laura, I'll send it to you later, but like she sent me a whole list of I said, what must we read? And she gave me a whole list of just like some preferences for things to read. And so we'll go through it, and I'm sure we'll have a great time. So
Very exciting.
yes. I'm actually like, I don't know, like, okay, so I can't speak for everybody. Like, I can't speak for Laura, but I'm having a blast getting to read books from the authors going to Monster Erotica, and I'm having a blast having Laura join me too, because this is like so fun. I think like just opening up not only my own mind to just like what's out there reading wise, getting a taste of like, oh, I actually like this. Like this isn't as like weird as I thought it would be. Or I mean, it could be weird, but like it's not a turn off, I guess. And it's also like a good opportunity to open up other people's minds too, because I've had some friends who are like, ew, no, I'd like never touch that. And I'm like, but like, let's give it a try. Like, let's see what it's about. You know, it's not, it's not as bad as you think it is, right?
A group of us sentient romance authors were together recently on a panel for Strange Love. And we're talking about the fact that sentient object romance, while silly and goofy, there's a lot of like social commentary in them. And there's a, like emotion and depth to these books. They are silly and fluffy and weird, but it's not all that they are. Which I think is why once you can get somebody to read one, they end up sticking around.
And I think I would say like the one big thing that maybe both Laura and I sometimes want more of is the deeper dive into the characters, which I know you can't always do in like a shorter book or kind of a book that's not meant to be long. Like I get it. It's not that kind of book. But I think like sometimes it would be so nice to just know more about those characters, you know?
Yeah.
I've gotten many comments, we need more Finn and Jasmine after the teddy bear. And I'm like, okay, I'm working on a couple of things that I'm going to put out as freebies or add to my website. I haven't quite worked out how I'm doing it, but I am adding more because people have requested it enough times that I'm like, okay, I've got to add it.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing too. Like you said, once people read it and they get that little taste, they come back and they want more. Like I'm sitting here, I heard Laura talk about the books that they read, and I'm like, I really need to read these. Like they sound so good.
Yeah, and I think that's like the only sort of complaint that I could ever have realistically is that I just want more.
And it's not even like a big complaint, I guess, you know, like it's not like,
I mean, at the end of
or
the day, you finish a book and you're left wanting more. That's not a bad thing, is it? Really? So
no, there just needs to be more hours in the day.
So, okay, I was kind of creeping on you a little bit on your Instagram. And I saw like you had some questions on there that were like, I think they were like questions of the week or something like that. One of the questions said, what is the most WTF book you've ever read? And at the time you had put Stuffed by Sylvia Morrow. Has anything topped that? Because it was 38 weeks ago.
Wow, you went really far back. You went back to where I had time to do question of the week. I don't know. I think Stick may have beaten it.
The hockey romance?
The hockey romance. Sylvia, I love Sylvia. I love Sylvia's writing. I will champion her books. But Stuffed, the fabric feel of the man creeps me out so much.
Oh God.
So it remains very high on my WTF list forever.
Speaking of sleepovers, by the way, I was like, how fun would it be to do like a sleepover smut reading vlog and have books like Stuffed and obviously Double Stuffed, and then Snuggle would have been really cute to put in there, like just like sleepover objects. I think would have been such a fun themed vlog.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I have to read the stick one. I'm very curious. I keep seeing it pop up, and I'm like, I am very curious how this. It's a male romance.
It goes there. Anywhere you can think, it goes there. But it's another one that was like light me up, where it was just supposed to be smut, and then it went hard, and there's like emotion and
hard in two ways.
yes. But it was supposed to be smut is the plot, and then it turned into this entire novella that had all these feelings and gooiness, and it's fantastic. But as a hockey fan, I cringe.
Oh, some of the hockey romance book people might need to read this, even though it's not what they would typically read.
I don't know if they could handle it.
Oh, the play on words here. The handle it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But Dick is so cute.
So, okay, this is great that Jeremy has asked this question, because I think when I first followed you on Instagram, I want to say you posted a reel or something, and you were like talking about your dad reading your books or not reading your books.
No,
yeah, he doesn't.
He is not allowed.
Yeah, and I think he said, "Oh, but like I want to support you or something."
Yes, absolutely. My mom doesn't read very often. She has bought every one of my books. She has read every one of my books. My dad is a voracious reader, and he is not allowed to read my books. We do not have that kind of relationship. He does not need to know. He does not need to know what's happening in my books. He is not allowed to read them.
I support this, because actually the other day, my dad was talking to me about like books and like just being more financially mindful or something, because I do buy a lot of books. And he's like, "Well, what are you buying?" And I'm like, "Well, stuff I probably can't get from the library." He's like what? And I was like, smut. Do you want to know about this, like about your daughter? That's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. No. My mom buys them all. I believe she's read some of them. I don't think she's gotten through all of them, but she's she's as ADHD as I am, where my hyper focus is reading, hers is not. But she buys them all. She supports me. She tells her friends about them, which I don't know how I feel about that. But both
my
of them
mum
are
would be the same. If she was here now, she'd 100% be doing the same.
I don't think I could ever share with my mom. I mean, we're just very different culturally because she's not from the US, but like I just don't tell my mom about certain things because I know she would not understand. This would be one thing if I were in your shoes, Sabrina, I would not tell my mom at all.
Okay, it's very cringy to say, but my mom is one of my best friends. Like,
oh, I love that.
Like, we talk almost every day. We share probably more than is appropriate. So I don't worry about as much stuff. There are some things that she does not need to know. And if she never gets through some of these books, that'll be okay. But we have that kind of relationship where we can talk about these things openly, and there's some awkwardness, but it's not like I'm going to crawl under my desk and die.
Now, would you recommend like other authors, like for example, Sylvia or Latrexa, and like, would your mom read them?
I bet she would.
I guess it takes off some of the embarrassment. Like
she's as odd as I am. I get it from her.
Yeah, same. In fact, actually, my mom was worse.
Oh. Worse than me. But you're amazing, Laura. So your mom must even be more amazing, right?
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, she was amazing. No, thank you.
Okay, so I also, when I was stalking you, saw that you had a anthology collection come out where I guess like you did like a collab with some other authors, and I saw, I think Sylvia was on there, Latrexa's on there, a bunch of other people, right? It's called Matched by the Unicorn.
Yep.
It came out very recently, like August 27th.
Yes.
What is this about?
Online dating is how it started. Because I am a single person who occasionally online dates, and it's as miserable as everybody says.
Yes.
So we were in Sylvia Morrow's Discord, and I was complaining about, I don't know, somebody who was being obnoxious. And it led to me saying, I just want to hand somebody my phone and be like, find somebody for me. I am so sick of this. And Mia, who said she was joining the sleepover, is like, I'll do it. She's like 100%. And it just kind of spiraled out from there to, well, you've got to write this, Sabrina. And then other people are like, but maybe this could happen. And within 4 hours, we had a completely new Discord just for the anthology.
So is this each of you are writing a different chapter, or everyone's got a different story?
Everybody's got a different story. The only centerpiece is Mia the unicorn.
I love it. Based on Mia?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yes.
So cool.
Mia actually wrote her own piece in there, and
I love it.
In my story, Dummy for Love is Mia's best friend is trying out her new dating app that's still in beta, and gets matched with this dummy that she doesn't know is a dummy because she doesn't know it's a magical dating app. And then in some of the other ones, they know it's a magical dating app, and they're like, no, they're getting paired up with others. The big thing was it was a human and a monster, and you had to reveal it to the human somehow. So every one of the stories has that drama in it. Sylvia's is about a Gen 2 penguin. And I know Latrexa did a Yeti. Cassie as Clover, Holloway maybe.
I think I saw that.
Did a Monstera plant.
Very cool. So this is the anthology, in case anyone is looking for it.
Yeah, and all of the income from the anthology is to Pro Writing, which is a nonprofit that supports literacy not only in the U.S. but around the world, to help adults gain higher levels of literacy. Because once you have those skills, your life can change. You can get a better job. You can defend yourself better. You can do so many more things. So, and we're all a bunch of writing book nerds and love supporting that. It is only available for the next couple of months. We're only doing one. Thank you. Thank you, Mia. Words are hard.
You're put on the spot too. So.
Anyway, it's only available for a couple of months, and then we're taking it down, and everybody gets the rights back to their stories. And some people may put them out. I know Cassie has made hers longer, and mine ended at a happily for now. There's an entire second half of their story that's going to be coming.
This is interesting.
Oh dear, I might have to break my ban.
So I did put the link on the YouTube chat. It looks kind of weird on our side because it's a big Amazon link, but I took away on the YouTube chat side, I took away all the extra stuff. So if you click on the one that's a hyperlink, it'll take you directly to the Kindle digital version, or you could buy the paperback.
And the paperback is chunky. It's like this big.
Yes, this is like 547 pages.
Yes, it is a chunky book.
I'm not afraid of any chunky books, so.
But it's so pretty.
And Mel, hello. I have a question. So if you had all the time, support, and resources in the world, what book, premise, or theme would you write? Perfect world.
Oof. I don't know. I kind of just go with the flow of whatever pops up. I have a long list of things I would love to write. It would still be monsters. I am having too much fun. Back when I thought I was going to write when I was in college, I was contemporary romance, and I came to monsters, and this is 10 times more fun than I ever had there. I am not leaving the Monsterverse. But I don't know what I would write in a perfect world.
Just kind of whatever gets thrown your way, you'll just kind of roll with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I literally have a spreadsheet with story ideas to keep them all organized, because people will, like you said, throw me objects, or I'll be looking at a railroad and come up with train puns that need to be written.
This reminds me of, so a couple weeks ago when we were with Sylvia, I had the game we played. It's going to be different today, but the game we played, I said, all right, I've got these made up book title names. And I think the one I had given her was Frailed by the Raptor, because one of my friends came up with that one. And I said, okay, I wonder where Sylvia's going to take this. Took it a totally different direction than I thought, because I was thinking like dinosaurs, which I think she did include a dinosaur, but it was like a dinosaur judge driving a car and got rear-ended or something. And I was like, this is hilarious.
Trust Sylvia to make it fluffy.
I loved it though.
She is fantastic.
So speaking of games, we have a quick little game to play. And I think what will be funny is, Laura, do you have paper with you? Okay,
Yep.
I just got myself some paper.
My colored pencils.
Oh, you're going all out. Okay. So for those of you in the audience, if you could throw out some different types of objects, inanimate objects, please do that. So for example, and these are ones I don't want you to write down because Sabrina has already written about these, but don't put out candy corn, a teddy bear, an octopus, or I guess kind of like a werewolf. That one's a little different. Or a lamp, or a pommel horse. Okay, so those are out, but those are kind of examples of inanimate objects. And the game we're going to play here is Laura and I are going to we are going to draw. We're going to draw one of these objects. And while we're drawing, Sabrina is going to provide us with a story on the spot, kind of like a synopsis of the story. Just kind of what it might be about, who the characters are. And I know we have some different people putting different inanimate objects in here. So I'll let you pick, Sabrina, what object?
I can actually see the chat.
Oh, you can't see it?
No.
Okay, so can you see them when I put them on the screen here?
Yes.
All right, we've got a lint roller, a sneaker,
Sylvia,
a bus pass, pastries, oh boy, a book, a spoon/silverware, a rake. There is a rake.
There is a rake book. My friend Nicole Parker.
Which is funny because we, my friend Bree and I have a book club called Hose for Pros, and we call all of our members shovels. And I was like, we need to read this rake book. So we have a sock, a car tire, a toothbrush. I think that's all that's come in so far.
Let's start with pastries.
All right. So Laura and I will try to draw a pastry or pastries of some sort, and Sabrina will grace us with a little story.
Am I going to be blind? Are we blindfolded?
Oh, yeah. So Laura wanted to maybe do a hard mode of, and we'll let you pick, Sabrina, if you would like for us to be blindfolded or close our eyes while we draw, or if you'd like us to draw with our eyes open and unobstructed.
Well, I'm going into this blind. You guys can join me.
Right. Glasses are rough.
All right, I will just close my eyes. I don't have an actual blindfold. So take it away with our pastry story.
All right. So we have pastry chef Devin, who is going to open a new shop and has a delivery of a special kind of flour that she did not order and did not want. And they're like, well, tough, use it. It's a new supplier. You get no choice. And much to her shock, when she opens the oven, a bunch of pastries start talking to her because it's magic flour. And this is my process, how it actually goes, by the way. And this is why I say it does not end up sounding like my stories at the beginning versus the end, because the beginning is terrible. Anyway, Devin has a bunch of pastries who just make her life a living hell. And one day she's like, nope, I'm done with it. We're done. And they're like, about time you stopped and paid attention to us. And stuff happens. And they have an orgy.
Oh, this didn't turn out as bad as I thought.
Oh, am I supposed to be finished?
If you'd like.
Hang on, let me do the other leg.
Laura, the hat, the story, the hat over the face, I'm dying. Well, as you saw, I will show you my picture. Laura, you can finish, but I loved your story, by the way. So I'll kind of explain. Let's see if you guys can see this. I'm surprised it came out this decent. So here's my pastry. It's supposed to be a donut.
I could have done a male. That would have been so much easier.
And this is supposed to be like icing, like I'm almost said jizzing off of it, drizzling off of it. Well, I guess I still said jizzing. Anyways, this is the jizz. And this was the oven that you were talking about with this like steaminess, you know? And I guess it's coming out of the oven. I don't know. Laura, would you like to share your picture? No. Oh, God. It's okay.
Okay, I'm not an artist, okay? Okay. Okay. It's Cornish pasty. And the jizz is there.
I should have gone male. That would have been so much easier for both of them.
Yeah. I think that was supposed to be eyes.
Wait, can I make you bigger?
I'm not sure.
Oh, there we go.
Jeez, we did not need to make that bigger.
Oh, I see.
Oh, there's a mouth there as well. I was trying to figure out how to make it better and fix it, but
it is fantastic.
You know what it reminds me of? And this is not, I know you're not an artist. I'm not an artist either. Are Real Monsters.
Yes.
Like the Lips character. I don't know their name, but that's what it reminded me of.
Laura, if you want to see some artwork that I've sent to actual artists, feel free to message me and I will share them. Because I have to draw stick figures for my artists, because how do you explain anything that I write? And I promise it'll make you feel better about yourself.
Okay. Well, the problem is I'm an ex-nail artist and people came to me for art on their nails and paid me for it for 7 years. I really hope none of my old nail clients ever watch this.
Well, to be fair, you also did it
with a hat over your face.
With a hat over your
True.
Oblino is the lip one. Yes. So we are out of time for tonight, but before we go, I just wanted to mention that if you would kind of like a little sampling, non-spoiler samplings of Sabrina Cross's books, both Laura and I put out some vlogs today and we read different books, so you can go check those out. They're on each of our respective pages. And then Sabrina, is there anything that you would like to plug or to mention? I did link your website socials down below, so if people want to connect with you, they can reach out that way. But is there anything else that you'd like to kind of talk about or plug for yourself?
I'm gonna talk about the anthologies I have coming out in February. There is no faces. Sorry, it's a hard rule in this house. No faces on the internet.
Good.
So, Evil Hearts Anthology is coming out in February and features a morally gray marshmallow, because I cannot write morally gray. It's not a literal marshmallow. It's a god. Okay. It's a beast god, but he is a marshmallow. Because I kept trying to make him morally gray, and he just was like, "No, we're a marshmallow." Anyway, I think there's 50 some odd authors involved in that. That's the Evil Hearts Anthology, and if you search for my name on Amazon, it comes up.
Yes, I did just put the link for anyone can pre-order.
The money for that anthology is going to be going to the Dolly Parton Fund.
Oh.
And if you don't know about the Dolly Parton Fund, Dolly Parton sends books to tiny humans all over the country, and it's amazing.
Okay.
And then Strange Love Indie has a anthology that is not up yet. That one is being coordinated by Eva Priest, and I will have the Yeti book in that one.
Okay, so we have to kind of wait and look out for that one.
Yep. Definitely look out for that one. That one should be listed pretty soon. And it's going to be a lot of your favorite authors in the genre again. And it's going to be a blast.
All right. Perfect. So make sure that you guys, and this isn't it's not sending you to a crazy weird website or anything. If you click on those links, it'll send you to the actual links for the books that Sabrina has mentioned. You can pre-order them, purchase them, get them on KU, however you consume your books. And then obviously, if you want to know about the Strange Love Indie, you just have to maybe get on Sabrina's newsletter.
There is a virtual conference for people who can't travel to Indie, and we've been doing a lot of really fun panels. There's artist features. If that's something you guys are interested in, definitely check it out, because we've been having a lot of fun over on Discord with that virtual conference.
All right. And I'll try to go link some of the stuff down below too, so people who watch back later, they can get these links and things like that.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to head off for the night. Thank you so much, Sabrina, and obviously Laura, for joining me. We will catch you guys in the next author interview, which is sometime next month.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.